though. Now behind my back, won't be long till you share it in the group chat. And when I call you up, you're gonna backtrack. And you should've kept the name out your mouth. That's me though, how it all turned out. When you try to use my name for a clout, keep on going, give me something you can talk about.
Hello everybody, another day, I didn't have time for my hair to dry completely, so just excuse that. But I decided, I guess today's the day. I need to jump into this Nancy Guthrie situation, into this case, and start putting my 2 cents out there. I will say I did get a very, very strong download from the mothership, but I'm not gonna tell y'all what it is because I don't I don't like to like make it seem like I'm trying to make an allegation or an accusation against somebody's family member, okay? But what I will say is it's not the brother-in-law, okay? That's or the son-in-law, I'll tell you that. Or that was, that was my impression. That was my so-called supposed download. I have like hair stuck on my lip gloss. It's aggravating. Okay. I don't think she's still alive. That's my personal opinion. Okay. So this is a pretty tragic situation, to say the least. 84 years old. 84-year-old mother and grandmother, supposedly, seemingly abducted from her own home in the wee hours of the morning. I haven't covered this story yet. I haven't covered this story yet on my channel. And so I wanted to do like a live investigation today to talk about some things that, I mean, this situation has been going on for, I think today is day 8. So it has been going on for longer than a week. I have not really weighed in on very much or any of it publicly. And so some of the stuff as we go through this live investigation may to some of y'all seem like old news, or yeah, we already knew that type of news. But please just do be aware, I just haven't covered this story at all on my channel. So I wanted to do where is the case at, sort of live investigation from pretty much the beginning, although I am going to be doing a lot more focusing on stuff that has happened over the last couple few days than the earlier stuff. So January 31st. So today is Sunday, February 8th, 2026. So like I said, it was about 8 days ago was the last time that anyone reported actually seeing Nancy Guthrie. Now, Savannah Guthrie, I guess, is her daughter, Nancy Guthrie, the missing lady. She has a daughter. She has a few kids, but one of her daughter's name is Savannah, and apparently she is a news or TV anchor slash host of some like Today or Good Morning, something this or that or whatever. I mean, one of them shows I don't watch. So, if you really pressed me on it, I would say I don't really know who that is, truthfully. But I do remember that there was like a lady who had interviewed Donald Trump, and apparently it was her. Remember when she was sitting on like a bench, like far away from him, like I don't know if it was like social distancing hours or whatever it was that was going on at that time, but I guess that's probably the only thing that I really remember from her. But she is the daughter. She's the daughter of the missing lady. And so people have been saying, maybe it has something to do with that. Maybe it has the disappearance, the kidnapping, maybe has something to do with the fact that this lady has a rich and famous daughter, or maybe politically, Savannah Guthrie maybe did something politically that like ticked off, some people, and they wanted to take their revenge out on her by getting to her mother or whatever. I don't personally think that's what's going on, but hey, look, I mean, who knows? I don't know any of these people. Okay, so January 31st, 8 days ago, was the last day that Nancy was reported to be seen. Then very next day, they reported her missing. Okay, they reported her missing around noon. That was February 1st. There was some news that came out that a camera was removed or busted or somehow damaged at the Nancy Guthrie home. And at some point after a few hours after the last time anybody ever saw her, her pacemaker, which is like a surgically implanted device that I don't really exactly know. I'm not exactly, I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but from what I understand, a pacemaker is like something that's inside your body, connects to your heart, and if your heart falls out of rhythm, then this pacemaker will kind of like, essentially, for lack of a better word, like kind of sort of like shock it back into rhythm or whatever. I don't exactly know if I'm describing that right, but it is a surgically implanted device it did have the capability to hook up to and to sync with a phone. We're in the singularity, y'all. But anyway, so at a few hours after Nancy was last seen, the pacemaker did disconnect from the phone. It was not able to be reached anymore. So an international woman hunt was launched. So that's the first thing I wanted to show y'all here. Again, I am just catching us up to where we are. I am going to go over a few things that some of y'all might be like, okay, this is old news. This was in Tucson, Arizona. Yes, the mom was not famous, just to be very clear. The mom was not, well, I guess that's actually not exactly true. Like, it could be argued the mom was famous because she did go on that show with her daughter Savannah many, many, many times. But yes, that is not what I was trying to say. What I was trying to say is the daughter is rich and famous. That would be Savannah. Yes, so I am right. I was right. My pacemaker analysis was correct. Pacemaker is a small battery-operated device implanted in the chest, under the collarbone to regulate slow, fast, or irregular heartbeats. The psychics, I have actually watched a few psychics too on this case, Brianna. Multiple psychics keep saying they need to look in running water, not the house. In running water, like a brook or a stream, or running water is the name of a town in Arizona. Savannah's husband has political ties to a certain scary political family. Oh, interesting. Okay, so let's I do want to read some of y'all's comments as well, but I want to get um a little bit further in my recap of the case, because I don't know why I have a strong feeling something's going to happen today by like 2:00. It's just a feeling. Okay. Please don't take any of my feelings as anything other than psychic delusions or schizophrenic delusions. Okay. So, I just feel like something's going to happen today by 2:00. So I wanted to get as much done before that, which is in 20 minutes. And I wanted to get as much done on the recap before that, in case there's some breaking news or anything. Psychics are always quite non-specific. Lucy, you must not be watching a lot of them, because they are not always non-specific, sweetie. Sometimes they are extremely specific. Now, when they are extremely specific, sometimes they are wrong. I do think that there are some people who are out here who do have like a sixth, seventh, eighth, whatever you want to call it, sense. Not everybody claiming they're a psychic is a psychic. So, of course, you have to take everything with a grain of salt, but I feel that same way about the FBI. Okay. So, yeah, it's like very That's So Raven. Like, sometimes I'm just like, I don't know why. I just think something's going to happen by 2:00 today. I don't know why. So this was the January 31st missing persons flyer, I guess what you call that. Nancy Guthrie, January 31st, 2026, Tucson, Arizona. That is her. They have the little flyer here. Let me see. View poster. 150 pounds, 5'4", brown hair. The FBI is offering up a $50,000 reward for information leading to the recovery of Nancy and or the arrest or conviction of anyone involved in her disappearance. So that is kind of like, even if she's already passed, they will still get money if they are able to lead the authorities to who is responsible for the disappearance. Details: the FBI, Phoenix Field Office, and the Pima County Sheriff's Department in Arizona are investigating the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, last seen at her residence in the Catalina Foothills neighborhood of Tucson, Arizona, in the evening of January 31st, 2026. She is considered to be a vulnerable adult who has difficulty walking. She does also have a pacemaker and she needs daily medication for a heart condition. If you have any information concerning this case, please contact the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. That is 1-800-225 5324. That's 1-800-225-5324. You may also contact your local FBI office, the nearest American embassy or consulate, or you can submit a tip online at tips.fbi.gov. Girl, why are they saying you can go to the consulate? That's weird. Maybe they do that all the time. I really don't know. Okay, so that's it right there. Okay, that's the missing persons flyer. An arrest is expected very soon. Paul said, that's good to know. Paul, I'm telling y'all, I wanted to come on here before 2 o'clock today because I simply just wanted to tell y'all I think something's going to happen by 2 o'clock. It might already happen. It might happen this morning. I just felt like today at 2 o'clock was some type of deadline in my mind. I was like, I have to get on here. Okay, so let me yes, thank you, Renee. There does seem to be a big presence at the house right now. Not sure what it means, but I'm watching another live stream while watching this. Good to know. I did see in like the moments before I came on here that JLR investigates JLR JLR, right? Investigates is on the scene over there at Nancy's house, and he said that the sheriff had just come back up there. So we will be looking into his live stream. Thankfully, he did say that anybody who's doing like restream broadcasts are allowed to do it. So I really appreciate that. Okay, yes, Lee. Thank you, Lee Birch. Good point. Good point. This may be what's going on. I've heard people question they may have taken her to Mexico, so maybe that's the reason they mentioned a consulate. Maybe so. Running Water in Catalina is where she is. I keep seeing it all over these readings. But what is Running Water? Is that a city? Is it called Running Water Township? Or are you literally saying water that is running, like a river or a brook? That's what I'm trying to ask you, Brianna. Thank you for that. Arizona is speculated having a lot of nefarious activities. You know, I will say when I saw this, let me pull up a map of the United States as well, just so y'all can know. When I saw where she was living and the area of the world where this is, I just pulled up a map on eBay. It is no secret at all whatsoever. Okay, so this is Arizona for those of you who are not from the United States, or maybe you just aren't familiar with the United States map for some reason. Arizona is over here right next to Mexico, beneath, geographically beneath the United States or south of the United States down here. Not Hawaii and Alaska, girl. That don't go right there. This white part, this would be Mexico. All right. Well, this would be the Gulf of America, but Gulf of Mexico. This underneath all here, this is Mexico. All this underneath here is Mexico. Alaska goes, over there somewhere, and then Hawaii don't go right there. But those are states, I guess. Okay, so Arizona is here, okay, and Nevada that has Las Vegas is here. So this area of the world is like a desert, okay? This area right here, all this is very deserty. All this right here is very deserty. Now, once you start getting over here, you start getting like lush, green, it's swampy down here, but this is a desert and this part of California too. So when I first saw Arizona, I was like, okay, immediately, I don't know why, immediately gambling came to my mind. Gambling, vices, drug addictions, rehabs. Like these are the things that flood my mind when I heard, that this was going on in that part of the world. And it is no secret at all whatsoever that Las Vegas in Nevada is completely run by the cartel and by mafia families. Okay. So whenever it was being circulated day after day that this Nancy Guthrie's son-in-law, Tommaso Cioni, I don't know his last name, very Italian. But he's Italian born. Okay. So he's not like, I don't guess necessarily like, in the Sicilian mafia that runs Vegas or anything, but Okay, so yeah, okay, I'm reading some of y'all's stuff. It's a neighborhood. Look in the running water. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Look in the okay, so the psychics are saying look in the running water neighborhood. Okay, it's a neighborhood called Running Water. Okay, so I'll just tell y'all, this isn't psychic vision or nothing, but it's just like, association game. I immediately thought if an 84-year-old woman had been took from her home, I immediately thought, okay, well, from where? And it was Tucson, Arizona. Immediate thought was like a gambling debt, not from her, right? But maybe someone around her has a substance use problem. Maybe someone around her owes somebody a debt. And if they couldn't get the money from the person who owes the money, the next best thing may be this mom. These are just things that very first came to my mind. So I want to look into this Tommaso Cioni guy because either, he definitely did it or he is getting completely abused and mistreated by the media. Let me see. Nancy Guthrie, son-in-law. Okay. So we'll start here with this Hollywood reporter. I think if Brianna got a similar feeling, I think a family member needed money and did this. Interesting. Okay. So I have a different theory like right now. I have a different theory right now, but that is what I thought when I first saw the news a few days ago. So I don't want anybody to think that's what I still think. I will get into my theories as we go, but okay, hold on. Girl, do you mind? Okay, let me turn this on reader view. Sheriff in the Nancy Guthrie case rips Ashley Banfield's reckless reporting. Ashley Banfield said on Tuesday, so this is like almost a week ago now, that the son-in-law may be the prime suspect in the case, citing a law enforcement source. So this was, 5-6 days ago on Tuesday, Ashley Banfield reported on her podcast that Nancy Guthrie's son-in-law, Tommaso Cioni, may be the prime suspect in the alleged kidnapping of Savannah Guthrie. 84-year-old mother Nancy, citing Ashley Banfield was citing law enforcement sources or a law enforcement source. However, the Pima County sheriff is pissed. He called Ashley Banfield reckless, her decision to report on Tommaso as reckless. He said, we don't have anyone, quote, listed as a suspect. Okay, well, sir, please. You don't even need a master's degree in linguistics to see that you're playing word games, buddy. We don't have anybody here listed as a suspect. That is something completely different than we don't have any suspects and we don't have any leads. That's not the same thing. And we can all see it. We're used to reading these statements, sir. Should have sat there and ate your food. Better yet, should have sat there and looked for the missing old lady instead of commenting to the media on what the media is saying. Anyway, the sheriff said, however, nobody is eliminated. Okay, interesting. He specified that they don't have a person of interest, quote, identified either. Okay, but do they have a person of interest that they're following leads on behind closed doors without having to identify that person to the public? Most certainly. Almost absolutely certainly. And if the sheriff's department doesn't, then the FBI, DOJ definitely does. He said, nobody is eliminated, but we just really don't have enough to say this is our suspect, this is our guy, we know, or our gal. We don't know that, the sheriff said at the press conference on a few days ago. He said it's really kind of reckless for Ashley Banfield to report that someone is a suspect when they could very well be a victim. That's true. That's true. Banfield's podcast producer told the Hollywood reporter via text message that Ashley stands by her reporting and she has an ironclad source. I mean, she might know more than this sheriff at this point, because if she's got people in the FBI working to give her tips, the FBI is obviously not telling the sheriff everything that they find out. He said to the media, I plead with you to be careful of what it is we put out there. Well, you lost me on that one, buddy, because who in the is we? Who is we? Don't royal we me. We need to be careful what we say. Okay, baby, then you be careful what you say, and I'll do what I do over here. Who is we? Who is we? I hate that. I plead with you to be careful of what it is we put out there. Bitch, you just say stop saying stuff. And you really can't. We have the right to do it. It's been 8 days and y'all haven't even found this lady. I mean, at this point, people should be able to talk. My God. Anyway, he said you could be doing real damage. Okay. But you can do some damage to the individual too. Social media is kind of an ugly world sometimes. You don't have to be especially good detective to recognize the last piece. You don't have to be any sort of gumshoe to know that Nanos was speaking directly, specifically to what Banfield first put out there via her podcast. They have towed Annie Guthrie's car, and there is some connection to Annie Guthrie's car and Nancy Guthrie's son-in-law. Annie Guthrie is the daughter who's married to Tommaso. So they towed Tommaso, like basically Tommaso's wife's car. He's 50 years old, from Tucson, Arizona, married to Annie, Savannah's sister. So it's Savannah's brother-in-law. Banfield said on her podcast, my law enforcement source tells me that Tommaso Cioni is the prime suspect in this case. Again, law enforcement source tells me, this is, again, I'm quoting Ashley Banfield. I don't have no law enforcement sources. I'm reading Hollywood Reporter articles just like y'all. Okay. Nancy Guthrie's son-in-law, married, okay, maybe, she said, maybe a prime suspect. At the very least, let me tamp that down, because sometimes it's the first person you're looking at, not prime, as in there is no one else. Okay, so let's be really mindful of that. Families are always looked at first as well. Okay, so Banfield is saying, look, it's always the case that the last person or people to see a victim alive, they are always looked at. They're always looked at no matter what. You know, like if the husband called, oh my God, my wife is missing. Oh my God. Like they're still going to look into that husband, even though he's calling boo-hooing and hooting and hollering. Okay. So Ashley Banfield is in the Epstein emails wanting to date him after his conviction. Oh my Lord, girl, send it to my email. Maybe a family member owes a debt, and maybe that member of the family asked the richest lady in the family for the money and she said no, and that person got really mad and now the mother's missing. I kind of feel like that could be what's going on, Brianna, if possible. I mean, I kind of feel like that's what could be going on. There's something, I don't know why, I just keep getting this strong feeling of like money. Like yeah, I mean the ransom, that's money, but like it's like the motivation for this was money. Like somebody owed a debt, somebody was being extorted, blackmailed, something mafia, something got in with the wrong crowd, wrong people, pissed off the wrong people, owed money to the wrong people. I don't, just something like that. It just feels like something seedy, something mafia, something gambling, vices, alcohol, drugs, something, you know. Anyway, let's finish this article. Annie Guthrie's car has been towed and impounded and is in evidence, Banfield said, again, citing her unnamed source. She called this source very connected and highly regarded, with impeccable credentials, knowledge of this investigation. On Thursday, the sheriff said processing the car was part of standard investigative practices. There have been conflicting reports, including from law enforcement, as to who was the last to see Nancy. Okay, there was who was the last one to see her. That's who we need to look at first. That's the first place you look, but there's conflicting reports. One version of the story says it was Tommaso Cioni, Nancy's son-in-law, Annie Guthrie's husband, Savannah Guthrie's brother-in-law, and he was the last to see her as he dropped her off at her home in Tucson on Saturday night. But another version of the story is that it was Annie. It was Annie herself who dropped the mother off that evening. And there's yet another version that it was both of them. Nancy was reported missing by members of her family after she didn't show up for church the following morning. Now, I've heard another version of even that story, that Nancy was not reported missing by her family to the authorities. It was actually Savannah Guthrie who called Mark Kelly, like a representative or a senator or something, congressman or whatever. And then he called the cops, which also like doesn't help my like mafia, suspicions here. But anyway, after she didn't show up for church. So that's what this article is saying. Yesterday evening, Annie Guthrie joined Savannah and her brother to make another video plea to the suspected kidnapper or kidnappers. The siblings said they are ready to talk, but they asked for proof of life. On Thursday, the FBI posted a $50,000 reward for information on the whereabouts of Nancy Guthrie. Okay. So I want to also, over the course of this live stream, I do also want to look at those videos. Okay. I'm going to try to be very respectful, but I would be being dishonest if I said that I didn't find some things about those videos to just be perturbing in and of themselves. Like that is, I mean, I'm not the feelings police by any means. I'm not the person that gets to decide how people get to act when their mom goes missing. But what I will say is I don't think that how those people are acting is how most of us would act. I'll say that. Okay. So Harvey Levin came out and, said that he thinks the kidnapper is based in Tucson. There was a ransom note. Okay. So then moving on, there was a ransom. This is just kind of a recap because I haven't covered this story on my channel yet. So I am kind of like going through a lot of the bigger things that happened over the past week, even if they're not breaking. So one of the first big, weird, confusing things to happen is that the supposed kidnapper started sending ransom notes, not to the family, but to the news, and to the tabloids. And one such ransom note was sent to TMZ. Okay, so let me just see if I can find like an article. TMZ. Oh, shit. TMZ. Ransom note Guthrie. Okay, so this is from 5 days ago. TMZ. And let me turn it on the reader view. Alleged ransom note for Nancy Guthrie kidnapping demands millions in Bitcoin. This is 3 days ago. The Pima County Sheriff's Department posted on X they are aware of reports circulating about possible ransom notes regarding investigation into Nancy Guthrie. The tweet says the department is taking all tips and leads very seriously, and anything that comes in goes directly to the detectives who are coordinating with the FBI. Another scary twist in the disappearance of Today host Savannah Guthrie's kidnapped mother is TMZ received one of these alleged ransom notes demanding payment for the release of Nancy. The note, which was sent to TMZ on Tuesday morning. Now I need to look. I need a calendar. What are we in? February. I just need to see. I guess I should have pulled this up here. Let's see. So Tuesday would have been the 3rd. Okay, so that's another thing that I found to be very, very weird. Unexpected, strange, is that they got this supposed ransom note on Tuesday the 3rd, but she'd been missing for 3 days at that point. She last time anybody saw her was January 31st. So she's just missing. There's this like national or international like woman hunt going on. And then like 2 full days, almost 3 days later, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, here's a ransom note. Let's send it to TMZ. It's very strange to me. That's weird. If you're so hard up for money, why wouldn't you just put that ransom note out immediately? Because remember, this lady got a pacemaker. She needs to take medicine every single day. I mean, is she even alive anymore at this point? And even like 3 days later, like, did they bring her medicine? Yeah, seriously. Sweetface said, telling TMZ you kidnapped someone's mom is insane. Yeah, seriously. Shout out to Cash becoming a new member. Thanks so much to the Joseph for the $6.99. J2 the Joseph for the $6.99 Canadian. Ashley is in the Epstein emails wanting to date him after his conviction. I can provide the proof. Yes, girl. Send me the proof at ThatSurpriseWitness@gmail.com. Thank you. Is the ransom note a scam? I mean, girl, who knows? Now, someone did send an alleged ransom note that was that did apparently turn out to be a scam, and that person did get arrested, but that doesn't seem to really resolve the entire thing. It does seem like the FBI is still saying there's like a, somewhat legitimate ransom notes. TMZ received an alleged ransom note demanding payment for the release of Nancy Guthrie. The note, which was sent to them on Tuesday, February 3rd, demands a specific substantial amount of Bitcoin. The amount is in the millions, and the note demands cryptocurrency be sent to a specific Bitcoin address. TMZ confirmed that the Bitcoin address was real. There is a deadline, and apparently there were 2 deadlines connected to the alleged ransom and an element of or else. In the moment on our live stream above, Harvey and Charles said she was wearing an item mentioned in the note. In fact, the note says she was not wearing it. Okay, in a moment on our live stream above, Harvey and Charles said she was wearing an item mentioned in the note. In fact, the note says she was not wearing it. I don't get what they're trying to say on that one. The alleged ransom note also described another item the sender says was damaged at her Tucson area home. We forwarded the alleged ransom note to the Pima County Sheriff. Nancy was reported missing Sunday, and her disappearance has been labeled as an abduction, and homicide detectives are on the case. Okay, that should give you an idea of what their outlook on the case is. Okay. So TMZ got that note. Now I'm going to pull up another article about how much they actually wanted to get. This is a New York Post article. I'm going to turn the reader view on. This one came out today. Staggering Nancy Guthrie ransom demand amount revealed by local TV station. The fiends who claim they have kidnapped Nancy are demanding $6 million in Bitcoin, a local TV station revealed. Quote, multiple ransom notes have been sent out to the media, including one that was sent to us. JJ McKinney from Tucson, ABC affiliate KGUN 9 reported. He said in the letter, the potential kidnappers demanded that the Guthries pay them $6 million before tomorrow. And there's Nancy and there is Savannah. The ransom note writers say Nancy Guthrie's life is in peril if the deadline set for 5 p.m. tomorrow isn't met. Savannah Guthrie and her siblings, Annie and Cameron, it's Charles Cameron, by the way. If anybody's looking into him, his name is Charles Cameron, but I guess he goes by Cameron, pleaded to the anonymous suspects in a new message Saturday night. Again, we will get into these videos that they put out begging for the return of their mother. We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. What are they celebrating, girl? I don't know. What are they celebrating? I do not know. She added, saying that her mother's return is very valuable and they will pay. This is the only way we will have peace. Now, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I have reason to believe that the family doesn't think she's alive anymore. And my reason to believe this comes directly from the language that they are using in the most recent plea. It's the only way we'll have peace, be at peace with her passing. Again, I don't want to get too far into speculating, and please do not take anything that I am saying as if I am, in any way knowledgeable about this situation, but this is my opinion and commentary channel. I don't want to be disrespectful or anything, but this is my linguistic analysis of the situation. We hear you, we understand. Understand what? That the woman's dead? What exactly do you understand? There's a few things in it. And again, like I said, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. We are going to watch those videos that the family has put out. There's now been 3. Yeah, a lot of deputies over there at the the proof of life has not been proven yet. In the last video, they know she's not alive anymore, Lee said. I kind of got that impression. It kind of seems more like they're now just doing a recon, to get her back. And they're saying, we won't be able to have peace. Let us celebrate. I know a lot of people will consider, funerals to be celebrations of life. I hope, listen, what I do want to say, I hope that lady is alive and well and having a great time. Okay. I really do. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. And I don't want to get too far. And like I said, I got a direct, very strong sense That could be wrong. And I'm not even going to tell y'all what it is, who I think it might be, because it just doesn't seem right to make that type of speculation start to circulate or to even possibly encourage that type of speculation. But it's somebody in their family and it ain't Tommaso. Okay. Again, I'm not going to say who, but I just feel it's like a feeling, you know what I mean? And it ain't Tommaso. And it's somebody that it's going to be like, damn, really? But again, I got this feeling that it's like something to do with substances or vices keeps coming to my mind. Vices, like in with the wrong people, in with the wrong crowd, vices. Like if it's substances, if it's an addiction of some sort, owing money, extortion, like something like that. And like that type of stuff will make you do crazy stuff. I'll just say that. So a few people are saying I had that feeling too. I agree. Yeah. Okay. Yes, it does. The sister has a substance issue. I did not know that. I did not know that. For me, it might not be substances like I'm telling y'all the thought, it comes in through here and it's like vices, addictions to something. It might be a substance. It might be alcohol, but it might be something else. Porn. I don't know. Corn. I don't know. Vices and getting in with the wrong people, like seedy, like backroom gambling, backroom, dark rooms, like that type of thing. A lot of people think it has something to do with Epstein. That's interesting. Okay, so this is the only way we'll have peace, they say. Sunday marks the 8th day in the intensive search for Nancy, who was, and that's today, the 8th day, who was last seen on January 31st after having dinner and a game night at daughter Annie's home. So, I'm not in the FBI or anything like that, but if I were, one of my first things to ask would be, what did y'all talk about at the game night? Who was at the game night? Was a game night something that was usually something going on? Did the game night take a turn for something else? Was there a family disagreement? Was there any type of disagreement at all? Was there any type of somebody asking for something and not getting their way? Or was it just a totally normal game night? I mean, these are the type of things that I would ask. These are the type of things I'm wondering. They had dinner and a game night at Annie's house. Okay, this is Annie, who seems to have gotten her grays retouched since the last hostage video. And then that's Savannah. And then that is Charles Cameron Guthrie, a former Air Force colonel. Okay, like I don't come from a military family. I mean, like all of our grandparents were in the military. I mean, I don't think they really had a choice, but like, my dad, my mom and stuff, like they were not in the military. My grandpa did his one little tour wherever he went and he was done. So I don't like, I would not say I come from a military family. So I really don't know how the rankings go, but I think colonel is like a pretty high up one. And he was in the Air Force, I think for about 25 to 30 years. But he's retired now. That's Charles Cameron Guthrie, Savannah, and then this is Annie. So apparently there was dinner and a game night at Annie's home. Annie is the one who, again, she's got her roots touched up. She was the one she's the one who's married to, what's his name? Tommaso. Savannah and her siblings. Okay. So this is, wow, look at this house. It looks cool. Okay. That's Nancy's house, the front entranceway. Nancy was reported missing at around noon on February 1st. On Saturday, cops yesterday, they made another sweep at Annie's home and Nancy's home, both in Tucson. So they went back into Annie's house yesterday. Now, that's the last place where this woman, Nancy, was seen and known to be other than her own house. So it doesn't surprise me they would be searching the homes. Now, what I have seen is that the local police or detectives or whatever, they did their first little sweep. They were in Nancy's house for like a little while, and then they just took the caution tape down, the crime scene tape down, and just went along their way. And that allowed news stations, news sources to be all up on the front porch. Brian Enton from News Nation was up on there filming blood droplets and everything else. And then come to find out they needed to go back into that house. And now the crime scene done been contaminated. I read this somewhere. Take it with a grain of salt. It's not clearly AI, y'all. Please, please, for the love of God. She's holding her sister's hand. That's her sister's thumb. Please, y'all. It's bad enough we don't have to make stuff up. We really don't. We don't have to make stuff up. It do be your own family, though. It do be. It do be. Okay. Has Ashley Banfield posted anything in the past few days from her super credible contact? I feel like she's gone dark. I mean, I don't know. I don't watch her regularly. I find her face to be like a bit avian. It's a bit unsettling for me to look at her face, frankly. Something about like the beakiness of her nose and the sunken inness of her eyes. It makes me feel like I'm looking at something I'm not supposed to be looking at. So quite frankly, not everybody was meant to be in HD. And that's just my opinion. Maybe y'all are gonna think it's mean, maybe it is, but it's the truth. My mom is the same way. I don't know about if it's Ashley Banfield, but I like literally got that from my mom and it used to aggravate me. She'd be like, I can't look at ugly people talk. But now it's like, oh, I get it. I'm not saying Ashley Banfield's ugly. What I'm saying is something is unsettling to me about her face. So I can't really like look at her on a big screen, like real big and stuff. Like it just something's unsettling about her face to me. But anyway, so yeah, I get it from my mama. I don't know. It's like probably mean or something. Like, and if people probably say that about me, that's fine. They're not over here watching me. Nancy was reported missing. Okay, let's see. Authorities have not publicly detailed the purpose of the activity or what, if anything, was recovered. The Pima County Sheriff's Office has said the investigation remains active. Okay, so like $6 million Bitcoin demand. I'm just kind of pointing out things that I think are weird as we go. One of the things I think is weird is that they abandoned that crime scene and took the crime scene tape down so fast, only to just have to go back over there 2-3 more times. Something else that I found to be very strange and very weird is how the ransom demand, if it's such an important ransom demand and the whole thing was for money anyway, why they waited 2 whole full solid long ass days before sending the ransom note to anybody, and then why did they send it to TMZ? Those things are weird to me. Thank you, Jay, to the Joseph for the 279 Canadian. I just sent you emails and DM on Twitter. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, no, I am an alien, so I know I look like one. I know I do. See the big old eyes? All the better to see you with. Okay, so let's go to the next source. Okay, so come to find out, multiple ransom notes have been sent out to the media, including one that was sent to these people. Oh, they done deleted the tweet. Oh, my Lord, they done deleted the tweet. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, moving right along. According to Harvey Levin, Nancy. Okay. So according to Harvey Levin from TMZ, he started kind of trickling out information that was in that ransom note that TMZ got. And he did say that the beginning of the ransom note did start with Nancy is alive, she's safe, but she's scared. Okay. Very interesting. Okay, Lee said ransom note was an afterthought after they had already done it. I think it went to TMZ because the local station didn't report it. Right. So they hit up the local station. Local station did report it to the police, but didn't report on it publicly. And maybe this person or these people, this group wanted, perhaps this is Lee, speculating. He's saying that maybe that person wanted us to all know about it. And it's just a big distraction of an afterthought. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Possible. I mean, who knows? We don't know. I don't know. We don't really know. Okay. So I wanted to just do a little bit of background on some of these characters. Okay. So here is Savannah Guthrie's Instagram post from 391 weeks ago. She says Colonel Charles Cameron Arlo Guthrie on his final flight as an F-16 pilot. He retired from military flying this weekend, and we were so honored to see his last flight. So this is 2018. I've never been more proud of my big brother. He has flown for our country for 26 years and continues to serve proudly in the Green Mountain Boys, the Vermont Air National Guard. He is the pride of our family and is one of this country's finest. So that's very interesting. Questions come to my mind because listen, I'm sorry. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but we got to look at everybody. And Savannah included. We got to look at everybody. If this man retired Do Air Force pilots continue to get salary? How was he making money? What was his job? What industry did he work in? I mean, these are just questions that come to my mind. Just curious. So there he is waving. Okay, look, there's Nancy right there. Nancy there, the pride of our family right here. Bunch of kids. There's Annie. Now, interestingly, I don't see Tommaso. This kid right here looks like one of Perez Hilton's kids. There's Annie. There's the brother. So these two are brother and sister. He's hugging his mama, Nancy. There's Savannah, Arlo. There's Annie. And so these three are the siblings, right? This is Savannah. There's Charles Cameron, and then there's Annie. Savannah and I guess her kid. Okay. All right. So just wanted to go through that. I found that to be interesting. And thank you to everybody who does serve and who has served our country, the greatest country on earth. Okay, so now let's move on to the next. I have like just a bunch of links listed in my notes, so I'm just going to be clicking on them and showing y'all things I found interesting. Savannah would visit him often, would visit her brother often. He apparently was living in Vermont. Savannah Guthrie said during her trip, she visits Vermont frequently to see her brother, Lieutenant Colonel Charles Cameron Arlo Guthrie, who is now retired from the Air National Guard. Hold on. I thought he was in the Air Force. I've seen it posted that he was in the Air Force. I've seen it posted that he was in the National Guard. I thought he was in both. Okay. I don't exactly know. Again, I'm not like a big like military. I'm not that knowledgeable in the military. So, okay. I did find some criminal records for Charles Cameron Guthrie, the brother, but it wasn't anything too serious. This was like speeding. One thing was speeding, and then another one was, I think, driving without a registration. One was in 1991, and one was in 2010. Nothing serious, just some driving stuff. Okay, so then we move on to Annie, who's the sister. This is another one of those articles about Banfield. Sheriff in Nancy Guthrie case slams Ashley Banfield's reckless reporting for falsely alleging son-in-law was a suspect. This article came out 2 days ago. Savannah and her family continue to search for her missing mother. As authorities investigate the incident, a sheriff in the case is calling out false reporting. Interesting, he did not say it was false. He said we can't take him off the table. He could be a suspect, but we need to be careful what we are saying or whatever in the hell he said. So I found that to be interesting. Journalist Ashley Banfield found herself in the crosshairs of the Pima County Sheriff's Department for falsely alleging. Now, I don't know if it's false. I don't know if it's false that Nancy Guthrie's son-in-law is the prime suspect. She didn't say that also. She didn't say is. She said maybe. There's Savannah. During a February 5th press briefing, the Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos called out Ashley Banfield for incorrectly claiming that Nancy Guthrie's son-in-law, Tommaso Cioni, is the prime suspect in her January 31st disappearance. We don't have anybody, quote, here listed as a suspect. Okay, just because y'all didn't put him on a list doesn't mean they're not a suspect. Nobody's eliminated. We don't know that. It's really kind of reckless. To the media, I plead with you. We have to be careful what we put out there. But Ashley doubled. This is her right there. Ashley doubled down. Said she has an ironclad source. They've told, okay. While speaking to the press, at this time, we've not identified a suspect. Okay. He also shut down claims that there were signs of forced entry at Nancy's home. The sheriff said, I have no clue where that comes from. We have been very consistent. We are not discussing that at all, whether it's forced entry or not forced entry. Okay, so he didn't say it wasn't. You see, you gotta actually listen to the words these people say, because this sheriff is kind of being put out as if he's some kind of podunk idiot, and maybe he is compared to the FBI, but he's not that stupid. Okay, he obviously uses his words very, very carefully. He said, I have no clue where that comes from. Understood, parenthetical, unstated, We didn't put that out there. So I don't know where they got that information from. We didn't put it out there. But do you see how that leaves open the possibility that it is true? He just doesn't know how it got out. You see what I mean? We have been very consistent. We are not discussing that at all. Okay, but you see how he could have really put it to rest? See, the Blast, the propaganda tabloid, they say the sheriff shut down those claims. No, the F he did absolutely not. All he said is that somebody is leaking information. As far as I'm concerned, he said, I don't know where they got that information because it didn't come from me. Okay, but you didn't say that isn't true. There was no forced entry. He didn't say that. It was very ambiguous. He said, we are not discussing that at all, meaning like with us, with the public, whether it was forced or not forced. You see how he did he's like very political, like you don't actually have to answer the question. Can you speak to whether or not there was forced entry, Mr. Sheriff? Yeah, no, we're not discussing that. I have no idea where that came from. Like, underlying, maybe it was a leak, maybe it was somebody else. No, we're not. No, we've been very clear. We're not discussing that. Instead of saying, no, there was no forced entry. That's one of the baffling parts of this case. He's just saying, no, we're not discussing it. Okay, baby boy, somebody discussed it. And now we all heard it. Also, you don't really have to have like a criminology, like forensics degree to see that there was blood from Nancy, right? They ran the blood. There was blood on the front steps, on the front porch, like the front, like whatever it's called, stoop, where you're like walking into the house. There was blood and they ran the DNA on the blood and it was Nancy's. So if the ring camera was destroyed on the front of the house and there's blood droplets from the owner of the house, I think that's, I don't know. I don't have a criminology degree. I think that's pretty clear sign of forced entry. Hello? But maybe, Nancy let him in or something. Could that still be forced entry? I don't know. So there's Nancy right there. Following earlier reports, there was blood found at the scene. It was being tested to determine who it belonged to, and Nancy, it was Nancy. According to People magazine, the FBI and the Piedmont County Sheriff's Department confirmed the blood was Nancy's. Her home was labeled as a crime scene shortly after her disappearance, after the police discovered what they described as very concerning conditions, and also that no proof of life had been determined. So they had never received any proof of life as far as from what's been reported in the media. Now, again, they could be lying, and often they do lie to the public in these investigations like this because they don't want to let the perpetrators know what they actually know. So a lot of times, especially once the FBI gets involved, they will put out a bunch of fake stuff to throw not only the public, but more importantly, the person or the people behind it off of the trail. Look, she missed a button. They should have cropped that. Okay, conjunction with a $50,000 reward. The reward is for an information about Nancy. Agents, analysts, and professional staff are all working day and night with the partners. Deployed additional intelligence and agents from the Phoenix office. Okay, good to know. Okay, so I also looked into Tommaso's criminal background and I was only able to find a speeding ticket. Let's see. Tommaso Cioni. Oh, no records are found. So now they're telling me no records. Okay, well then maybe he never got a ticket then. Okay. I did find something whenever I searched it, but I guess I don't have time to go through it right now. Okay. So now let's go to, let me see what JLR Investigates is doing first. Is he still out there? He has this breaking sheriff's back at the Nancy Guthrie home. So he's standing out here in front of the Nancy Guthrie home. And he's saying that the sheriffs are out there right now. Hold on.
5 hours of daylight, 4 hours, 5 hours of daylight. But as all of you know, once it gets dark, they're not doing anything out here in the dark.
Well, they went and took pictures last night in the dark. Okay, so I just wanted to check in to see what was going on over there. Okay, so now what I want to do, I want to look at the first video that the family put out, that the kids put out. I don't exactly know what to type in. Okay, so, all right. Okay, so this is from NBC LA. I didn't watch it before. I did watch the video before. I just don't know about this source. So let's see if this is the video. Savannah Guthrie speaks directly to her mom's kidnappers in new video. I think this is supposedly the first one. So this one came out February 4th, 2026. Today is the 8th, so 4 days ago.
Ago, we heard from Savannah Guthrie for the first time about the disappearance of her mother, Nancy. Surrounded by her sister Annie and her brother Cameron, Savannah talked about her mom and spoke directly to the people who abducted her mom 4 days ago. It was an emotional plea with what appears to be some new information, including a new directive from President Trump. Robert Kovacic following the investigation for us tonight. Robert?
Colleen, so we are now on day 4 of the search
I
for
want literally
Nancy,
just their
possibly
speech.
taken by force. With to
our mom
Okay, here we go.
is a kind. We feel them, and we continue to family. We want to thank all of you for the prayers for our beloved mom, Nancy. We feel them, and we continue to believe that she feels them too. Our mom.
Okay, look, listen. God willing, I never have to be in a situation where my mom is missing and I have to make a video like this. And if I do, I mean, I really hope people aren't like picking apart how I'm acting and being, but like I feel like I would like not even be doing my job if I didn't point out how unbelievable this whole thing is. Not Savannah. Savannah Guthrie kind of makes the whole thing like half-ass saves the whole entire thing because I feel like, I actually believe her. But this crisis actor and this former military, I'm not convinced. I'm so sorry. Like, I know that probably sounds mean, but I don't know exactly how you would expect necessarily somebody to act if their mom's missing. But I feel like if you're asking me, the two bookends of this video, I would point to that as like not how I would act. I don't think I'm sorry. Something's like just sitting so wrong with me about it from the very first moment. And apparently this one sister, she's like smiling at the beginning. Now, do they have that in this video? Let me see.
Instagram.
On behalf of our family, we want to thank all of you for the prayers.
Let me go to her Instagram. It's on Instagram. Okay.
We feel them, and we continue.
Let me go to Instagram, and I'll go to the directly to the source. Okay, nice. This is better. Okay, cool. So here is Savannah Guthrie's, here's Savannah Guthrie's Instagram account. She has 1.6 million subscribers, and this is where they're posting these videos. And I mean, like, again, truly, this is me being very respectful. Okay. I'm not saying what I really want to say here, but even in the still shot, I'm just not convinced. I feel like we're being lied to. I feel like these people know more than we know. And I don't know. Something just so unbelievably off about this. And look at this one smiling. The one on the left. This is the one on the left. Annie, she's the one whose husband is supposedly a suspect, according to Banfield, but the sheriff is pushing back on that, saying it's not true. Why is she smiling? What's to smile about at a time like this? And then, I mean, he's smiling too. I mean, she's getting a bunch of flack, but Mr. Colonel, Lieutenant Colonel, whatever in the hell, is smiling too. They're grinning. The only one ain't smiling is Savannah. Okay. Hello. What the hell? She's smiling. Look at her over there smiling.
We want to thank all of you for the prayers for our beloved mom, Nancy. We feel them, and we continue to believe that she feels them too. Our mom is a kind, faithful, loyal, fiercely loving woman of goodness and light.
Oh, Lord. Hold on.
She's funny, spunky.
Girl, I got us all messed up.
We want to thank all of you for the prayers for our
Tina Knowles is commenting on this. Yes. Oh, my Lord. Tina Knowles.
We feel
and
them.
Emily D. Baker, Khloe Kardashian.
And we continue to believe that she feels them too.
Okay, so, okay. This one don't look like she believes
Our mom is a kind, faithful, loyal, fiercely loving woman of goodness and light. She's funny, spunky, and clever. She has grandchildren that adore her and crowd around her and cover her with kisses.
Why does it look like he's smiling and laughing?
An adventure. She is a devoted friend. She is full of kindness and knowledge. Talk to her and you'll see.
Okay, yes. Now, I know that apparently, like in The Silence of the Lambs, people have pulled this up. In The Silence of the Lambs movie about a weird, creepy, serial offender and killer and just nasty, the Silence of the Lambs guy or whatever. He kidnapped somebody in that movie, and then they did a press conference in the movie, and somebody said basically verbatim the same exact thing, where it was like, she's so kind and loving, talk to her, you'll see. And a lot of people were like, okay, well, this is obvious that it's a script, and it's obvious they're trying to pull the wool over our eyes. And it's like, maybe so, but it's also possible that they just wrote the Silence of the Lambs script based on something that they would actually use in real life. And it is something maybe that they do use routinely to possibly appeal to any empathy that the kidnapper does have left. But I mean, I don't see how you could kidnap a bleeding 84-year-old woman and then this somehow very unbelievable performance is going to help. Now, if they had took Miss Froggy on the left and Mr. Lieutenant Colonel on the right off this screen and just let Savannah sit here and do it, we would be talking about something completely and entirely different. Again, like I said, Savannah is the one thing that kind of saves this whole thing. These other two, I'm sorry. I'm not really buying it. I'm sorry. I'm not.
The light is missing from our lives. Nancy is our mother. We are her children. She is our beacon. She holds fast to joy in all of life's circumstances. She chooses joy day after day, despite having already passed through great trials of pain and grief. We are always going to be merely human, just normal human people who need our mom. Mama.
She realized that that mama was just very weird and she had to start the whole line over. Something so weird is going on here. And maybe these people are just on a bunch of Xanax. I don't know. I'm just feeling like not for nothing, like literally millions of years of human evolution have like brought all of us to where we are today. And a lot of that has been being able, like the genes that survive are the ones that can like spot when somebody's not telling the truth. And I just feel like this whole thing, I just feel like it's so inauthentic. Now, possibly, hold on. Possibly, it feels so fake and inauthentic because this isn't what they would normally say. It's possible that they are trusting the experts, and the experts at the FBI have told them to read off some shit they would never say in their life. So it just feels weird. Like, imagine you being told to read this stuff, and they're like, well, this is the best chance of getting your mom back. Like, maybe, Mike Archangel said, wait, she needs a script to talk about her mom. That's the thing. It's like, maybe the feds came in and they were like, you have to say it this way. It's the best chances. And they just like didn't want to mess it up. But like, why wouldn't they just take a few takes of it and just like use, cause like not now it's like, not only does this not going to probably make the kidnapper feel very much empathy. It doesn't make us feel very much empathy. I mean, there are people shilling on the news and stuff saying like, oh my God, it's so heartbreaking. Can't imagine going through something like that. And it's like, true. I can't imagine going through something like this. And truly, I don't wish this on people. I really don't. I hope this lady is found. But just something is not passing the sniff test for me. I'm so sorry. It's just not. And Mark Kelly and the son-in-law, what's that mean? I don't know. I don't know what that means.
We need you to come home. We miss you. Our mom is our heart and our home. She's 84 years old. Her health, her heart is fragile. She lives in constant pain. She is without any medicine. She needs it to survive. She needs it not to suffer. We too have heard the reports about a ransom letter in the media. As a family, we are doing everything that we can. We are ready to talk.
This brother's like, oh my God. Like, you know that look on your face whenever it's like somebody done dragged you to church. It's a church you don't want to be at. They boring. It's like 2:00. You're ready to leave. And it's like, that's the look on this brother's face. Like, he could not be bothered. He's ready to get back to doing whatever he was doing. That's what it looks like to me.
However, we live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her. We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen. Please reach out to us. Mommy, if you are hearing this, you are a strong woman. You are God's precious daughter, Nancy. We believe and know that even in this valley, He is with you. Everyone is looking for you, Mommy.
I cannot help but look at this brother's face. I don't know why his facial expressions are just so strange. It's just not what I would expect. It's just not what I expect. Like, there's no look of sadness, and there's also no look of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like confusion. Like, I'm just, again, I really strongly hope I'm never in a situation that my mom is missing and I have to make a video to the ransom kidnappers. I mean, that would suck. But if I did, I just feel like I would be making faces like, confused. Who took my mom? These people look like they know what's going on. Somebody said this is how the people act. This is how the people act over there. Somebody said a pilot would go through military intelligence stuff. Maybe he's just seen such stuff. And the mother, this was a single mom too. They were raised by this mom. Their dad passed away in 1988, like almost 40 years ago. So she was like, she raised them.
We will not rest. Your children will not rest until we are together again. We speak to you every moment, and we pray without ceasing, and we rejoice in advance for the day that we hold you in our arms again. We love you, Mom.
We love you, Mom. Stay strong.
We love you, Mom. We love you.
And then they go back to smiling. Okay.
On behalf of our family,
Anyway, okay. So then there was another
we
video.
want to thank all of you for the prayers for our beloved mom, Nancy.
Hold on. The Punjabi side of Instagram. Okay, hold on. Okay, now let's go to the brother. Again, you know, I'm trying truly really hard to be respectful. Really, I am. And this is me being respectful. Okay. So then the brother comes out and makes his own video, I guess because maybe he didn't say enough on the first video. I mean, all he said was, "We love you, Mom." And he didn't look like he really, honestly, like he looked like he already knew. He looked like he already knew. He was just like, okay, I guess I'll do this song and dance for you people. Like, that's what it kind of was giving to me. So here's him by himself.
This is Cameron Guthrie. I'm speaking for the Guthrie family. Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom. We want to talk to you, and we are waiting for contact. This is Cameron Guthrie. I'm speaking for the Guthrie family. Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom. We want to talk to you, and we are waiting for contact.
Okay. And then last night they put another sister sibling video out. He's wearing the same hat in all of them. He really likes that hat, I guess.
We received your message, and we understand. We beg you now.
So the people
To return
saying
our
like, you know, somehow this is a sixth finger. It's like not obviously a sixth finger. It is weird. I mean, how she's like holding this hand here of this Annie, the sister, and then this hand here of the brother, and she's got her arms crisscross applesauce, whatever. But she's saying this is the one. If you're just joining, hi, hello. This is the video where I'm like, I think they think this lady is no longer among the living. And now they're just trying to get her, you know, body back to do her last rites and to do her funeral. There's a few things in this video that makes me think this. And somebody said he looks like a Texas Hold'em player. He might be. Hold on. Someone said looks like a Hold'em player. Wait a second. I mean, I do have this like gambling theory or like vice. Could be gambling, could be substances, could be something illegal, etc. Thank you so much to Lake Monstrous for being a member for 9 months. Love you, BJ. Mod's cousins. Here's to many more months of live streams with y'all. Shout out to you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much to Grace for the 129 SEK. Just wanted to say hi. I will watch this stream as a reply later. I'm sending you and your loved ones my best wishes, blessings to come y'all's way. Hugs. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to Kinghorn Cat. I'm behind in the stream. I'm sorry, but yes, retired military gets paid bank, especially at his pay grade. Okay, so he has a job. He has money coming in. Thank you for that $5 super chat. And also thank you for the empty hand does look really weird. I mean, it looks weird. They think she is not here any longer because of the way they say, let's just get her home so we can celebrate with her. Maybe referencing a celebration of life. That's what I was thinking too. Let's listen further.
to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace.
Peace.
This is very valuable to us.
Peace.
And we will pay.
This is valuable. We will pay for our mother back, even though she ain't alive. I think.
We received your message and we understand.
We received your message and we understand. What do they understand? Remember, this was an old lady. She had trouble walking. She used a cane. She had a pacemaker and she needed medications every single day. Her phone came unhooked from the pacemaker and now they're saying we understand. This is very important to us. And to remember in the first one that they said, mommy, Mimi, mama, we miss you. We are so strong. You're a child of God. Can you hear us? If you hear us, be strong. That's missing from this most recent video that came out yesterday.
You now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her.
Celebrate.
This is the only way we will have peace.
Only way.
This is very valuable to us and we will pay.
We'll still pay you.
We received your message and we understand.
What's that?
We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable.
And what I find to be interesting as well is there was a lot of reporting that the FBI or whatever had brought in a tripod to and a ring light to anyway, sorry. Yeah, not she is very valuable. This is valuable. And that's one of the reasons why I thought that this meaning like just returning her so we can bury her or so we can do her last rites or whatever. Again, y'all, I hope and pray really, truly the lady is alive and well and having a great time and she's going to be back home today. That's what I can hope. I don't know anything for sure, but it's like, you know, I do feel as though the tone and tenor of this most recent video is different. I feel like the things that they're saying are different and what they're asking for is different. Return our mother to us so we can celebrate with her versus mommy, mama, moo, you so small, you so strong, you so smart, you so this do. They ain't doing none of that in this video. And this is very valuable. Again, y'all, I don't want to be doing too much of the speculating. It's just my thoughts. I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like what these people think is not necessarily the same thing as the truth. You know, it could be the truth. Nancy Guthrie is alive and well. However, these three might just believe she's not. Now I will say just from, you know, a little bit more of a metaphysical, esoterical perspective, there's something inexplicable about the bond between a parent and a child. And when your parent or your child is no longer among the living, I do feel like you kind of get a feeling, sometimes. So, you know, I don't want to discount anything like that. However, interestingly, they have not said, you know, that she is no longer among the living. Someone should check the social security index to see if she's already passed. Well, if somebody already passed, they don't have to always report it. Apparently they're searching the septic tank. I've heard that, but I haven't seen any like actual source reporting it. Let me see. Yeah, you're right. Or it's being reported that as that. Okay, so like I said, I think something happened already today by 2:00. It could have happened last night. It could have happened earlier. I really thought, you know, that I feel like was too strong to pass up. If she needs meds every 24 hours, I'm sure she's declined horribly. It's true. Okay, New York Post, this article is kind of breaking. It's from 42 minutes ago. So right around 2:00. It's 2:51 right now. So 45 minutes ago would have been like 2:06 or something. Cops seen searching septic tank behind Nancy's Arizona home. Okay, so I mean, what goes into the septic tank is the stuff you flush down the toilet. What goes into the septic tank is the stuff that you put in the garbage disposal. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, look my mom in here. The brother has every right not to be facial expressions. I don't know what that means. He is a man. Okay, so what? He is pissed and it feels helpless. Girl, it could have fooled me. Could have fooled me. He don't look pissed. He looks bored. So maybe he should work on his pissed face if he wants me to think he's pissed. Okay, anyway. Cops seen searching septic tank. This just came out 2:09. This is Eastern time. So less than an hour ago. Pima County Sheriff's Department detectives are searching a septic tank behind Nancy Guthrie's house with drone footage showing them opening a manhole cover in the backyard. Oh my God. The 84-year-old was last seen over a week ago after she was dropped off at her Tucson, Arizona home by her daughter and son-in-law. It comes as police restated they have no suspects or persons of interest in the case. Now I want to get to this because this came out yesterday in the morning. Donald Trump thinks there's a suspect. The president, he said feds have a very strong clue on possible suspect. Oh, okay, really? He said the feds are getting, let me turn on reader view. He said the feds are getting closer to cracking the kidnapping case of Nancy Guthrie, and the FBI may even have a suspect. Trump shared the bombshell news coverage with reporters on Air Force One Friday night, saying investigators have made real progress in the investigation. And he says he's not talking about search results. Okay. Again, this also would make me think that they don't believe she is among the living anymore, and they believe that she's no longer living. He says he's not talking about search results. He's talking about solutions to the case. And get this, when a journalist asked him if someone had been identified as a suspect, he said, yeah, could be definitive. Trump also said investigators have very strong clues, believing we could have some answers coming up fairly soon. Earlier in the day, the Pima County Sheriff's Office, which is working with the FBI, announced they are inspecting a new message, which this local news received. This anchor, Mary Coleman, told CNN the note may have been written by the same person who sent a previous letter to TMZ and to this same station and to KGUN 9 News. TMZ's alleged ransom letter contained a demand for money in exchange for Nancy's safe return, but the first deadline already passed on Friday, and the second deadline is set for tomorrow. As you know, Nancy was reported missing Sunday after the family members got word that she missed a church service and called police, who quickly learned she'd been abducted from her home overnight. Nancy was last seen by her daughter, Annie. See, this is one, like, some people are saying the last time that she was seen was the daughter, Annie. Some people are saying the last time she was seen was the son-in-law, Tommaso. And some people are saying the last time she was seen was by both of them. Investigators are super concerned. Nancy is in poor health and needs to take her daily medications, but she's been without them for nearly a week. Time is of the essence here. Okay, so let me see if I can play y'all the video so you can hear it from Donald Trump himself, who is, of course, the head, technically speaking, of the entire FBI. He's the head of the FBI's boss. Oh, Lord. Now we got to watch an ad. Oh, Lord. All right. How long is the ad? My God. They're making us watch a 30-second ad. Oh, I guess I'll read one of these while we're waiting. Thank you so much to VBVC becoming a member. Thank you so much to Ravioli Kid Girl for being a member for 8 months. Thanks for being here and covering so much lately. Your factual reporting is appreciated and the only one I trust. Well, girl, I mean, most of it's opinions, which isn't facts, but thank you very much for being a member for 8 months. Shout out to you for that. Okay. This is Trump.
You promised Savannah Guthrie's family the full support of federal law enforcement. FBI is now.
I'll give you a little statement. I think we're doing very well on that regard. You're probably surprised to hear that. I think we're doing very well. Very well, meaning we have some clues, I think, that are very strong. And I think we could have some answers coming up fairly soon.
Is this a nationwide search? Is this a search going to Mexico?
I'm not talking about a search. I'm talking about a solution. We have some things I think that will maybe.
Somebody said, is this a nationwide search? Donald Trump did not even let the person finish asking the question before. He said, no. We're not talking about a search. No, we're talking about figuring out who did it.
Reasonably soon from DOJ or FBI or whoever that could be
Suspect?
yeah, could be definitive.
So
A lot's taken place in the last couple of hours. A lot of things have happened with regard to that horrible situation.
Now, I find that to be interesting because this was yesterday morning that this was posted. And Donald Trump, I mean, people are in the chat saying, why are they bothering Donald Trump with this? I promise you one thing right here, right now. If Donald Trump don't want to answer a question, he won't. He wanted to answer this question and he did it. So he's saying they have some very strong leads, some very strong clues. Interesting to say the least. And he said that there may be, and again, I want to reiterate something I found to be the most important even of the whole video is that somebody was like, this is a nationwide search. Is it going all the way to Mexico? Donald Trump said ain't no nationwide search. I ain't talking about a search. I'm talking about a solution. What does that mean? Okay. Oh my Lord. Anyway. Savannah probably went on to work. Womp womp. Okay, so what else? There was a floodlight taken down from the home. Okay, so then yesterday, the February the 7th, cops made another sweep at Annie's home and at Nancy's. So not only Nancy's home, but also at the daughter and the son-in-law, Tommaso, the daughter Annie. They also swept her home yesterday again and took some pictures. Authorities have still not publicly detailed the purpose of the activity or if anything was recovered. The Pima County Sheriff's Office has said the investigation remains active. No suspects or persons of interest as of Saturday night. Now, Donald Trump's out here saying there is a possible suspect, and you can look to hear some more news about it later. Here is a video of, oh God, more ads. Okay. Here is a video we're going to watch after this ad, this annoying ad that is going to show the police presence and the police activity at the homes yesterday. Okay, investigators enter home of Nancy Guthrie's daughter and son-in-law. Law enforcement team spent hours inside the home of Annie last night. Camera flashes could be seen from outside. Nancy has now been missing for 1 week. So this is the video. There goes the cop car. Okay, here he's got a paper bag. And people were saying that was a rolled up silver case of some sort. That to me looked like a crawfish boil table. That looked like a table to me. Now this is some type of detective. He's putting that paper bag and that crawfish boil table or a silver case into his truck. This is from last night. As you can see, it's dark. Okay, now a different vehicle. Also some type of cop car, but a different one backing up. This is footage from last night, allegedly, supposedly. Sheriff. Okay, and now this one looks to be backing up. Apparently that's the deputy. Okay, he's getting, or she, they getting out, walking into, I think, the house. Okay. And it just says a law enforcement team spent hours inside.
My Blink Outdoor 2K Plus only took a few minutes to set up. I just scanned the QR.
Shut up. Investigators enter home of Nancy Guthrie's daughter and son-in-law. Law enforcement team spent hours inside the home of Annie Guthrie last night. Camera flashes could be seen from outside. Okay, so let me show y'all my next link. I'm just going down my list here. This is a TMZ article from today. Savannah Guthrie's missing mom. Police search sister's home again. The search for Savannah Guthrie's missing mother took a dramatic turn late last night when investigators returned to the Arizona home of the sister, Annie Guthrie. Authorities were inside the home for several hours, photographing multiple rooms until about 10:30 p.m. local time. Reporters were kept at a distance as agents worked, with one officer carrying a silver briefcase into the home, raising questions about what evidence, if any, was collected. Here's a tweet from Brian Enton. Update from Annie Guthrie's house, where investigators remain inside. Outside Annie's home, News Nation correspondent Brian Enton documented camera flashes inside multiple rooms while several law enforcement vehicles waited nearby. The renewed search comes as the disappearance of Nancy stretches into its second week. Annie and her husband, Tommaso Cioni, were the last people to see Nancy after having dinner with her on January 31st, just hours before she vanished. Annie's home was also searched earlier this week. She kind of gives a little bit of a Lou Taylor vibe, but put a 1 in the chat if it's giving Lou Taylor a little bit. Authorities have not explained why they returned late on Saturday, but on Friday, a vehicle was towed. Okay, this is something important too that I thought was interesting. It's Annie's vehicle was towed, or Tommaso's vehicle was towed from the garage, and a camera was removed from her house. So a camera was removed from actually Annie's house, not Nancy's. Oh, yeah, it was Nancy. On Friday, a vehicle was towed from Nancy's garage. Excuse me. I read that wrong. I saw it wrong, and I said it wrong. Authorities have not explained why they returned late last night. However, on Friday, the day before yesterday, a vehicle was towed from Nancy's garage, from the mom's garage, the missing lady, and a camera was removed from her house. Now, I thought the cameras were all smashed up, bashed up. TMZ and other news outlets received an alleged ransom note earlier this week that contained 2 deadlines. The first deadline was Thursday at 5 p.m., which changed the alleged abductor's demands. That's interesting. Oh, okay. So maybe it was like, I want this much dollars by Monday or by Thursday. And if you don't give it, Friday. No, Thursday. I want this many dollars by Thursday at 5. And if you don't give me that, then I want this many plus X dollars on Monday or else. The second deadline is tomorrow. Earlier Saturday, Savannah appeared alongside Annie and their brother Charles Cameron in a video posted to social media directly addressing Nancy's alleged abductors. In the clip, the siblings said they had received the message and agreed to pay the ransom demands. Savannah did not share details about the communication or the amount requested. The family had previously asked for proof of life, and they did not ask for proof of life this time either. That was another one of the things that I found to be interesting and dismaying. Okay, so then Harvey Levin had received, as y'all know, TMZ received a ransom note. And so apparently within the ransom note, there was a like a speculation of how, like, indication, I guess, some sort of how long it would take the alleged supposed kidnappers to get Nancy back to her family. And TMZ Harvey Levin said basically, like, okay, like, let's say it was 2 hours, just for example. He didn't say 2 hours, but I'm just giving y'all an example. The kidnapper, the ransom note authors were like to TMZ, we're like, okay, look, we'll have her back in 2 hours. If you give us, once we get the Bitcoin, we'll have her back in 3 hours, 2 hours, whatever the amount of time was. Harvey didn't specifically say what the time was, but he did say it would cover this area. Like if you were traveling by car, and again, he said the reason that he thought this was because, well, I guess not again, but he had said the reason that he thought this was because he assumed they wouldn't be putting Nancy Guthrie on an airplane. He's like, obviously they didn't put her on an airplane with her ID and send her anywhere. And they're not going to put her on an airplane because there's a nationwide manhunt going on. Like if Nancy Guthrie presents her ID at an airport, or like, a train station or something, then it's going to alert authorities that she's there. So obviously Harvey Levin is saying these kidnappers are going to drive her back to her home. And if that is the case, then this red circle that he has drawn out are the areas as far as Nancy could possibly be and still be able to make it back to Tucson, which is here, by car. And he said, I also am just going to speculate that these people are not going to be driving too far above the speed limit. So he said this is like going 60 to 70 miles an hour max and trying to get Nancy home in a car without getting a speeding ticket, without getting pulled over, and without putting her on a plane. And he said these are the places where she could be. But the reverse engineer of that speculation is that she's not too far from Tucson. On Friday, Harvey Levin broke down how far Nancy may have been taken, showing a geographic area where her abductors may be holding her based on clues in the alleged ransom note. Okay. Bonnie, interesting theory. Her son is a pilot, though. Certainly he would have access to a private plane or two. Interesting. Okay. So let me go to the next link that I have. We're just moving right along. Cops left the scene after hours. I think we already watched this one. Let me see. Nancy Guthrie disappearance. Ransom demand for Savannah Guthrie's mom is reportedly $6 million. The potential kidnappers sent a ransom note to the local news station KGUN 9, threatening the 84-year-old's life if the deadline for their demand of $6 million from the Guthrie family before Monday was not met. Okay, so this is an hour ago. This is Fox News, a different source reporting on the search of this supposed manhunt of the sewer, or the manhole rather. Aerial footage shows authorities searching manhole behind Nancy's house. So they're sticking a stick down in there, seeing how deep it looks like some type of measuring stick, measuring tape. Using a pole to probe. Her church is praying for her. NBC. Oh, my Lord. Former Today co-host says he believes NBC could easily pay the ransom to bring Nancy home. Oh, Billy Bush is such a shill, girl. I don't trust a damn word comes out of that man's mouth. Sheriff's Department gives update on Nancy. Okay, so this was an hour ago. The Nancy Guthrie investigation is ongoing. This is from the Sheriff's Department about 2 hours ago. Nancy Guthrie investigation is ongoing. Follow-up continues at multiple locations. No suspects, no persons of interest, or vehicles have been identified. No scheduled press briefings. If any significant developments occur in the case, a press conference will be called. Okay, this is interesting as well. The sheriff or the investigators were seen with a topographical map. Now, people were speculating that okay, so people are saying no, the map does not make sense. It takes over 6 hours from LA to Arizona. So it could have been 6 hours. Like I said, I don't know, maybe 7 times, 8, 10, 12, however many damn times I said it. Harvey Levin did not say specifically 2 hours. I just used that as an example to get the point out. He might, they might have said 6 hours. They might have said 12 hours. Within 12 hours, we can have her back. They might have said 15 hours. What I'm trying to tell y'all is that circle was supposed to indicate how long it was. So I don't know why y'all get so worked up and start throwing these exclamation points at me after I literally go out of my way. I make myself hoarse. I almost lose my voice with all the fucking disclaimers that I give you people. And it's I can't even goddamn get through 2 sentences without somebody acting like they don't have no reading comprehension or listening comprehension. And then they're screeching with exclamation points at me. It's too much. Anyway, somebody was saying that this topographical map indicates that they're probably looking for more of a recovery of a body than a search where they're going to actually find somebody. That is just somebody's speculation from online. That's not even my speculation from online. Investigators were seen topographic map at a staging area near the home. The investigators were pictured in a parking lot of a mall minutes from Nancy's home. Looks like something they were going to use to grid out to keep track of search areas. Could be. This was last night. I'm just going through the updates. Yeah, they are probably keeping a lot close to the vest. And that's why the sheriff, instead of saying that's not true, is saying, I don't know how that got out. That poor guy. Okay, so Spiral Out Keep Going said, well, hold on. If the ransom isn't real, what would be the point of all this? Well, I don't know. I have no idea. But some people are saying it's a distraction to kind of keep the heat off us, make it maybe somebody unalive Nancy for some reason that wasn't money. Maybe it was for something else. And the person who did it is trying to throw investigators off the case. Some people are saying it could be a distraction from Epstein and the upcoming economic collapse. Somebody's saying a cover up, a distraction from other things like that. Anybody that has any criticism of me can keep it to their damn self. This is not the place for that. You can go talk about it on Reddit to each other. This is my channel where I do what I want. So thank you. The ransom makes the most sense, but maybe there could be another reason, Christine said. Interesting. Okay. Cops leave the scene. We already did that one. I'm just consulting my list. A car was towed from Annie's. We might have already gone through this.
It comes as a car was towed from the Guthrie residence tonight. Nancy Guthrie was
Wait,
seen in her home.
I do see this right here. It says live Tucson police and fire dispatch and breaking news. They were live right now, so I wanted to see. Let's watch the police search the
And let's bring in the aforementioned senior correspondent, Alicia Acuna, outside the home there. Alicia, we're watching these pictures from the Fox flight team. Clearly, there's something happening over there. We don't know exactly the nature of it. What
Somebody
can you
got
tell
to
us
tell
from
me
your
what
vantage
is
point?
this?
Hi, Kevin. I can set the scene here for you. About an hour and a half ago, we had a sheriff's deputy come up, park in front of the home. That caught everyone's attention. Now, not too long ago, within the last 20 minutes or so, we saw an unmarked vehicle with law enforcement drive up. The two spoke, they got back in their cars, and then we saw yet a third member of law enforcement walk up. 3 people walked to the back, 2 to 3 people walked to the back, and you can see them now. And they are what our drone team is describing to us. The Fox flight team is describing this as possibly like a manhole. I heard Jonathan say that it could be some sort of water drainage. Either one of those is possible. We're not quite sure, but they've been poking around in there almost like they're looking for a sample of some sort. Looking into this area. We've been kept back just a bit, actually. Usually when they have some sort of activity here at the site of Nancy Guthrie's home, we're often pushed back. The media is pushed back so they can do their job. Clearly, they're not concerned about that right now because we've all been allowed to stay as law enforcement continues its work to the back. Kevin?
Let me ask you about the searches that were happening, Alicia, Saturday over at the home of Annie Guthrie. Have you heard anything about the nature of those searches?
Everything we've gotten has been from our Fox Digital team. They were on site when about 4.5 hours after Savannah Guthrie and her siblings released that most recent video. They arrived at that home. They were there for about 2.5 hours. And according to our Fox team on the ground there, they could see, they could hear clanking of some noise being made. They could also see in the garage area what seemed to be flashes of light coming from a camera. And then they noticed in another whole opposite side of the house, we don't know if it was a bedroom, but it was definitely a different room. They started seeing flashing lights, camera flashes, they assumed as well. They also noticed that someone inside the home put up something to cover the window, probably as to, to keep the media from knowing exactly what they were doing. They were in there for quite some time, Kevin. Also, one of the agents was seen walking out. He had latex gloves on. They had a white folding table. They also carried out, one of the agents, a brown paper bag. We obviously don't know what's in it, but when you look at those types of behaviors.
So it was a crawfish boil table. They said a silver briefcase. Maybe they brought a silver briefcase in there, but I'm just noticing there's actually seems to be 2 holes. This one here. And then this one here, this other guy looks like he's on a hole too. I was so focused on this guy and reading y'all's comments, I didn't even notice this guy over here. This is from Fox News 1 hour ago. It already has 150,000 views. This is something's going on with these manholes or these septic tank holes. Now, I have a septic tank at my house in my yard. Some places you have city septic and some places you have your own. We ain't got no manhole. Okay. So I don't know what this manhole thing is. Is it necessarily for sure a septic tank? I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea.
The family wasn't there, we understand. The question is, was this evidence collection? Because the behaviors there, if you go back to any other case that you've covered, Kevin, you and I both, that looks and sounds a lot like evidence collection. As Jonathan mentioned, the sheriff's department reiterates, just as this is happening, that they will not be holding a news conference, that they won't be coming forward with any new information at this time. They still don't have a vehicle of interest, and they still don't have a person of interest. However, there is a tremendous...
I'm going to rewind this because he's now pulled this thing out of the hole. I want to see how deep down that thing goes. Hold on. Okay, so it's about... I don't know, 3 feet above the hole. It's so hard to tell. I don't know. It's seems to be about, if that guy was standing up, let's just say he's average height of an average man. Let's call him 5'10", maybe 6 feet. This thing is about up to maybe chest or a little below, maybe 3 feet of the stick is sticking out. Let's see how long it is when he pulls it up out of there. to see if maybe, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to really even speculate on what could have possibly maybe been going down that hole, but let's just see how like long the stick
when
looks
you look at
to see how
those
deep
types
the
of
hole
behaviors
is.
and what law enforcement was doing there for so long, the family wasn't there, we understand. The question is, was this evidence collection? Because the behaviors there, if you go back to any other case that you've covered,
It
Kevin,
seems
you and
like the white part of the stick is what was up out of the hole, and it just so happens that the darker, maybe yellowish, brownish part of the stick was below the hole. Like, it's a long stick.
both, that looks and sounds a lot like evidence collection. As Jonathan
10
mentioned,
feet? I don't know. I'm not good at guessing, estimating lengths, but it's long. And this guy has some notebook here.
Sheriff's Department reiterates, just as this is happening, that they will not be holding a news conference, that they won't be coming forward with any new information at this time. They still don't have a vehicle of interest, and they still don't have a person of interest. However, there is a tremendous amount of evidence collection going on. Obviously, there is a tremendous amount of activity happening as well. We have not had a news conference from the Sheriff of Pima County since Thursday.
And I understand if the pictures were accurate, that apparently someone in leadership over there was at a basketball game, which is probably not the best look for the department. But I'm not certain if that's actually been verified. But let me ask you while we have you, Alicia, I know that local news has been a bit of a repository for information regarding alleged demands, alleged requests made. Is that also happening in local Spanish TV, to your knowledge? And what, if anything, can we glean from the fact that the alleged abductors?
So let's see. What else do I have on here? Now they're doing something. Okay. A car was towed from Annie's. Let's see. Because last night a car was towed from Nancy's. So what about Annie's?
It comes as a car was towed from the Guthrie residence tonight. Now, Nancy Guthrie was last seen in her home in the Catalina foothills on Saturday night near Skyline and Campbell. And a lot of activity still happening there this evening. News 4 Tucson's Monica Garcia is there live right now with the latest. Monica, what can you tell us?
Well, Sean, I can tell you it's very much still an active scene out here as a lot is still unfolding and very quickly. We know that investigators, including the FBI and deputies, have been going door to door to neighbors.
They've been going door to door yesterday.
Asking the neighbors if they know anything. What's interesting is that we know that they've done this before. We know that they've been out here. They've investigated this house before. They've investigated this house before. They've searched the house before, but it's a renewed effort. The timing that was interesting because all of this coming after that second note or message that they're calling it was received by the Pima County Sheriff's Department, allegedly, reportedly by the kidnapper, we possibly believe. And all of this happening right behind me. So I'm going to step aside to give you an idea where we're at. We're about half a block as Jacob zooms in from Nancy Guthrie's residence. And then around 8 p.m., and I know that we have video of this, a car believed to have belonged to Nancy Guthrie was towed by authorities from her home right here in the foothills during the course of the FBI's crime scene processing. You see it right there. Video records show that the car.
So I guess it was two. I guess it's been two cars towed. Somebody had said that they towed a car from Annie's on Tuesday. And now last night they towed a car from Nancy's, the mom, the missing mother.
Car believed to have belonged to Nancy Guthrie was towed by authorities from her home right here in the foothills during the course of the FBI's crime scene processing. You see it right there. Video records show that the car being taken from Nancy's residence, we saw it here, was previously seen in her garage and believed to
Look, there it is, getting
to her. So
towed.
that's what they towed away around 8
That's her
o'clock,
car.
about 2 hours ago as they were out here investigating. So that's an additional piece that they're doing out here today, something we haven't seen before. This all comes after law enforcement, including multiple agencies, returned this afternoon around 4 o'clock for that renewed search of the house. And again, the timing following a message received believed to possibly have been sent by the kidnapper, which Pima County Sheriff's Department confirmed to us that they are investigating. Investigators confirmed they're aware of that new message and they're actively reviewing it. We're also learning law enforcement followed up on a tip involving a possible vehicle at a local Circle K. That's another
Okay.
piece of interesting.
So now we're going to get to another aspect of this. It's kind of new, developing as of yesterday, that there's something about a Circle K, a car parked at a Circle K.
information that we received today, that Circle K is something new to us. We're officers reviewing surveillance video. Authorities stress it's unclear whether that tip is connected to the case, but they have to look into it. So this comes, of course, as President Trump, as you just mentioned, Sean, has said that he expects to have answers in this case soon. And let's talk again about that critical timing. The critical timing, of course, is this deadline and that alleged reported ransom note that says it was yesterday was the first deadline. We passed that, unclear what was supposed to happen. But then Monday, there's that new deadline at 2 p.m. So we're still waiting for that new deadline of this alleged ransom note. So critical timing here. And then I must say, the FBI has been telling us, they've been posting all these billboards, digital billboards with Nancy Guthrie's face and that $50,000 reward, which we know is going all across the state of Arizona, as well as surrounding states, as we hope to get closer to finding Nancy Guthrie. Live from the Foothills, Sean, I'm Monica Garcia. Back to you.
All right, thank you for that, Monica. A lot of pieces now out there and new information. As soon as we learn more.
So something with a Circle K. Okay, so I do have another Circle K video here to kind of get a little bit more on like what's the deal with that going on. Oh, it's the same thing. Oh, it's the same.
It comes as the car was
same video
from the Guthrie.
Okay, let me go to the next. Let me go to the next thing. Oh, okay. Maybe this is the right video of the Circle K. Let me see.
It's 6 a.m. on the East Coast. It's Sunday,
So
February
this is
6th, and this is
6
Fox
hours
News Weekend.
ago.
We begin with a Fox News alert, a major development in the desperate search for Nancy Guthrie as her children have released a new video begging for her return.
The 84-year-old has now been missing for a full week, and her family is begging for answers, sending this chilling plea to their mother's abductors just last night.
We received your message and we understand.
I'm trying to get to the Circle K.
Her sisters and inside of her sister Annie's home. Our Fox News Digital reports at least 4 investigators from the Pima County Sheriff's Department arrived at the house that's located about 4 miles from Nancy's place. At about 8 o'clock last night, they went inside and our team saw what appeared to be flashes coming from a camera inside the garage and then again in another part of the house. They spent about 2.5 hours there. When they arrived, a deputy was carrying a white case of some sort. That case came back out with them in addition to what looked like a brown paper bag. One of the Pima County deputies was wearing latex gloves as they were leaving the home. It did not appear that any family members were at the house at the time. Adding to this, officers arrived at the sheriff's department in the afternoon on Saturday, carrying what appeared to be a large printout of a map, some sort of blueprint. And Fox Digital spoke with an employee at a Circle K here in Tucson who says federal and local agents reviewed a surveillance video from that gas station. The employee telling Fox they just showed up, asked to see camera footage, and an employee saying that it was related to, quote, some guy. The FBI has now placed digital billboards.
Okay, that's interesting. The Circle K worker had spoken to somebody and said the authorities showed up and asked to see a video and it was related to some guy. Okay, which guy? Let me search. Okay, now consider the source. This is Mediaite. Who knows? I never even heard of this freaking source in my life. But gas station near Nancy Guthrie's house reports suspicious vehicle, while investigators still have 0 suspects. Now, this was from yesterday, yesterday evening, afternoon, evening, 5:30. Federal investigators spoke to employees at a gas station about 20 minutes from Nancy Guthrie's house, while this is interesting. Okay, so federal investigators spoke to employees at a gas station about 20 minutes from Nancy Guthrie's house, while a different local gas station reported a suspicious vehicle to the FBI. Okay, so 2 gas stations. We're talking about 2 gas stations. Still, few other details have been reported when it comes to progress being made on the apparent kidnapping of NBC star Savannah Guthrie's mom. Anchor John Scott started Fox Report by discussing the Guthrie disappearance with correspondent Jonathan Hunt, who is on the scene in Tucson, where Guthrie has been missing since February 1st. Here are 3 key takeaways. No suspects identified. The FBI is still investigating a second message believed to be from Guthrie's kidnappers, although it has not been verified yet. And one of the reporters said, "We don't believe it contained any nudes." Also, no proof of life has been given as of Saturday afternoon. One of these reporters reported a clerk at an Arco gas station about 20 minutes from Nancy's home showed the Fox News digital team footage of investigators entering on Friday to discuss the case. You can see them there inside. This is the investigators. You could see them there inside. They did not give the clerk much clue as to what they were looking for. They just said a guy who got away, in the words of that clerk. So that was the Arco gas station. Well, there's also the Circle K. They had seen a suspicious vehicle. The employees alerted federal investigators about it on Friday and turned over their surveillance footage. New York Post had reported that the Circle K is just a half mile away from the home of Nancy's daughter, Anne, and her husband, Tommaso. So it seems like maybe the gas station is right by Tommaso and Annie's house and about 20 minutes away from Nancy's. The same report noted Sione was the last person to see Nancy after he dropped her off at her home at 9:48 p.m. on January 31st, hours before her pacemaker app disconnected from her phone at 2:28 a.m. Hunt, this reporter, also reported on Saturday that he saw agents walking into the Pima County Sheriff Department carrying a blueprint or a map. He could not estimate the significance of it. Those updates come a day after a local Arizona TV station received a second note. FBI released a statement on the new note saying the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Department are aware of a new message regarding Nancy. Investigators are actively inspecting the information provided in the message for its authenticity. While this is one new piece of information, the FBI and Pima County Sheriff's Department are still asking anyone with tips to contact them. The next consequential deadline is tomorrow, Monday, per a note from the suspected kidnappers. Now, I want to go to the Post. Footage in Nancy Guthrie investigation turned over by Tucson Circle K as feds eye an vehicle of interest. Law enforcement officials in Arizona searching for Nancy Guthrie now have surveillance footage from a Circle K store that might have captured a vehicle of interest in the mystifying case. The car was supposedly at or near the convenience store in Tucson, according to NBC News. Law enforcement visited their Oracle Road location Friday after receiving a tip regarding a vehicle of interest. There's the Circle K. The car was supposedly at a local Circle K, with the convenience store in Tucson turning over surveillance video to investigators the day before yesterday, which was Friday, according to a report from NBC News. Our team has provided them access to the store's surveillance video, said the Circle K spokesperson. An employee of Circle K confirmed to the Post that investigators showed up on Friday at the gas station, just a half mile away from Annie and Tommaso's house. Tommaso was apparently allegedly the last person to see Nancy Guthrie, dropping her off at her home after dinner at their house, 9:48 on Saturday, January 31st, hours before her pacemaker disconnected from her iPhone app or from her phone app. The Circle K location is roughly 7 miles or a 15-minute drive from Nancy's house. Officials have not elaborated on any definitive connection between the vehicle and what connection it may have to the crime. The Pima County Sheriff's Office said Saturday, that's yesterday, there's still no suspects. Officials also stated that they will not be confirming or releasing additional details about the evidence collected during the investigation. It's standard practice to seek any video available from nearby residences or businesses that is part of the ongoing investigation. The department also reiterated that they would not hold any more press conferences unless there was a break in the case. Yeah, I mean, they've been saying all kinds of crazy stuff on the news. Neighbors of Guthrie reported seeing a suspicious white van parked on their street in the days leading up to her disappearance. This is brand new information I haven't heard. Hold on. A suspicious white van. This is starting to sound federal. Okay. Remember there was also a suspicious white van around Thomas Crooks, the supposed Trump assassin. Nancy Guthrie's neighbor reported a suspicious white van parked on the block days before Nancy went missing. I did not know this. Neighbors of Nancy reported spotting a suspicious white van parked on their street in the days before the 84-year-old vanished. Brett McIntyre, the neighbor, told the Post on Thursday he reported the unmarked van to police, who asked him basic questions about the what he observed in the days leading up to the disappearance. It was somewhere on that street. It was a white van, full size, with no printing on the sides. It was parked on the street. Normally, people that are coming to work on your home will have a company vehicle, or if they're independent, something written on it. That is interesting. From now on, when I'm going out and about, I will have a paper and pen to record anything unusual. The neighbor's wife, Lisa McIntyre, said they are now considering getting security cameras despite having a pretty secure residence. We were talking and we were like, oh, we should probably get one. Well, why? Why would you get one? Nancy Guthrie had one. It ain't helping them not one bit. So these freaking cameras, they can figure out what we're doing at any time of the day or night. But somehow, some way, these cameras just know they can't get the footage off of it. The McIntyres don't recall the exact day they spotted the van. So here is a little bit of a timeline. That's very interesting. January 31st, she travels to the family's home. She drops off, and then she gets dropped off at home at 9:48. 9:50, the garage door closed. The next day, 1:47 a.m., doorbell camera disconnects. 2:12 a.m., software detects a person on the camera, but there's no video available. Yeah, freaking right. Pacemaker shows it was disconnected at 2:28, and then 11:56 a.m. Family checks on Nancy, but they don't tell us who called the police. It just says 911 call to the police, and then 10 minutes later, they arrive. She was reported missing on Sunday. An investigation was declared criminal on Monday. The police said at a press conference Thursday afternoon they believe Nancy was still out there. Yeah, but not alive. They just said out there. Yeah, well, we know she's still out there because we know you didn't find her. And hope to get home as soon as possible. A ransom note sent to local and national news outlets did not include any proof of life or a way for law enforcement or the family to communicate with the sender. Savannah and her two siblings issue a video statement on Wednesday pleading for their mom's safe return. We need to know without a doubt that she is alive. And I don't think they got that proof. We want to hear from you. We're ready to listen. Please reach out to us, Savannah said in an appeal. Okay, that is very interesting to me. Let's see. Is on JLR investigates still live? Because he's outside the house, supposedly. Or he was. I don't know why this 84-year-old lady's living alone. That's a great question. I'd love to know.
Not go up this one last night. It went up the other one. Somebody said about UPS. It went up the other one last night. The one next year. This is directly in front of Nancy's home.
This is in front of Nancy's home. Okay, I'm just going to do like a general search. Let me just like close this because I think it's making me lag. I'm going to open a new window. Okay. I'm just looking online, searching for like Nancy Guthrie update. Fox halts coverage. Okay, this is interesting. Hold on, let me take this down. Fox halts coverage for breaking Nancy Guthrie news as cops search a septic tank. Oh, okay. So they stopped what they were doing over there on Fox to cover this septic tank. They halted their coverage to share breaking news on missing Nancy Guthrie as police began a search of a septic tank close to her property. Maybe that was the 2 o'clock feeling I got. They did start doing that around exactly 2 o'clock today. Pima County Sheriff's Department detectives have been seen via drone footage searching a septic tank behind 84-year-old Nancy's house, with a video showing them in the backyard opening a manhole over a week after she was abducted. The search has entered the 8th day since she disappeared. She was last seen around 9:48 p.m. on Saturday. Her doorbell camera disconnected at 1:47. Blood splatter was found on her porch, and then it was confirmed to be Nancy's. Police suspect she was abducted, and the ransom notes with a demand for $6 million in Bitcoin was sent. The suspected kidnappers have demanded the money be sent by 5 p.m. tomorrow. In the latest video update from the family, Savannah speaks directly to the kidnappers and promises they will pay for the mother to be returned. Savannah sat between her brother Charles Cameron, and her sister Annie in the 22-second clip. We received your message and we understand. We beg you to now return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This right here sentence is really what got me like, I think they think she's no longer among the living. This is very valuable to us and we will pay. As of yet, law enforcement has not identified any suspects publicly in the case. The investigation continues at multiple locations. Officers were reportedly seen taking photos inside the property last night. Okay. I'm just looking for any updates here. It seems like the most recent breaking update was the manhole investigation where they had the stick down in there. Y'all, please. I'm not going to be addressing the 6 fingers bullshit again. I'm so sorry, y'all, please. It's bad enough already. It's truly bad enough already. We don't have to make stuff up. She's obviously holding her sister's hand. She was holding her sister's hand in the first video. She's holding both of the sister and the brother's hand in the second video. I'm not like, this is why people think that y'all are crazy. Like, there are absolutely AI images out there. It's bad enough. We don't have to make stuff up. And if you simply must make something up, go do it somewhere else, because then I end up getting blamed for y'all. Anyway. I don't have the 911 call. Who has the 911 call? I don't think anybody has that. Oh, maybe it is. Hold on. Is this real?
All units, stand by to copy a safe alert. All units, copy a safe alert. It's going to be authority from Pima County Sheriff's Office, last name at Skyline Drive in Campbell. Occurred on yesterday's date at 12:15 hours. Subject last name of the Guthrie, first of Nancy. Date of birth 1/27 of 1942. 84-year-old white female, 5'4", 150, brown and blue. Last name wearing unknown clothing description. Subject was not seen at church and family went to the residence, and subject was not at home. All personal belongings, including a 1021 and wallet and vehicle, were still there. Subject is nowhere to be found. Subject suffers from limited mobility and has medication scheduled to follow up and needs daily. If located, check code 20 and contact Pima County Sheriff's Office. Again, last name at Skyline and Campbell.
This is very interesting to me. This is not a 911 call. This is a dispatch call. I'd love to hear the 911 call. Hopefully they get to that.
12:35.
Stand by. Copy. One item needs to be safe alert. One item safe alert will be out of Tucson, Skyline, and Campbell Avenue. Heard on February 1st, approximately 12:15 hours. Subject a Nancy Guthrie, date of birth 1/27/84. female, 5'4", 150 pounds, brown hair, blue eyes, lips. Description for unknown clothing. So does not seen at a church. Family went to residence and subject.
Her birthday is on 1/27, so she just turned 84. Like 3 days before she went missing.
1021 while the vehicle were still there. Subject is again missing. Subject from limited mobility and medication. Scheduled that they may followed. Is located. Contact used on PD. No additional time 1309 hours.
Faithful Air for the Air Sailing Drive in Campbell, Pima County, 1511 7. So, Faithful Air Sailing Drive in Campbell, Pima County. During yesterday's date, February 1st, at about 15 hours, subject date of birth of 12742, of age, white female, 5'4", 150. Husband, wearing clothing, subject was not seen at church. Residence of subject was not at home. All personal belongings, including wallet and vehicle, were still there. Subject suffers limited.
Copy. Third broadcast of state alert to authority from Pima County Sheriff's Office last seen at Skyline and Campbell in Tucson. State alert last seen on yesterday's date at 12:15 hours. Subject last name is Guthrie, first of Nancy, 127 of 1942. 84-year-old white female, 5'4", 150, brown and blue. Last name wearing unknown clothing. Subject was last.
District 2 and 12 stand by to copy one item on the APB summary of safe alert from Skyline and Campbell in Tucson. District 2 and 12 copy 10 to locate one item on this APB summary of safe alert from Skyline and Campbell in Tucson. Occurred yesterday's date around 12:15 hours. Subject is Nancy Guthrie, date of birth 127/42, 84 years of age, white female, 5'4", 150, brown or blue. Last name wearing unknown clothing. Subject was not seen at church, so family went to the residence.
I was just thinking that too. It does seem like the news kind of got some of this wrong. Like, she was last seen at 12:15. That's not 9:48. Where is the 911 call? Not the dispatch. Let me see.
White female, 84 years of age, 5'2" medium build, brown blue. Nancy has high blood pressure, pacemaker, and cardiac issues.
This is the dispatch call too.
White female, 84 years of age, 5'2" medium build, brown blue. Nancy has high blood pressure, pacemaker, and cardiac issues. White female.
Okay.
84 years.
That's not the 911 call. If somebody could send me the 911 call, I'd be happy to play it. A lot of y'all are saying we never heard the 911 call, never recognized their name. I don't watch these people. I don't think Savannah is that famous. Yeah, I didn't recognize her name, but then I did remember, she did. I also think she did interview like a lot of the Epstein victims up front. There's a dismantled timeline. The sheriff was given information that he put out at first. The next day he changed the timeline. Yeah, the timeline is all wrong in the news. Savannah had money, but the sister was a poet. The brother-in-law is a poet too and a high school teacher. I did a little one of those people search background checks, just like the public, people search or whatever. He works at a high school. The brother, and I'm like the brother-in-law, not the brother. Excuse me, the brother-in-law, Tommaso. He's apparently works at a high school. Now, I didn't do too much like extra digging or anything. I mean, it was just like a Google result. She's well known because she's on the Olympics every time. Okay, interesting. And the Olympics is going on like right now. She's huge. She's the face of Today. So I guess if you watch the Today Show, she's huge, but I haven't seen that show in a very long time. So not everybody watches that. Quiet said, I watched Savannah on her first day. I was such a fan. I watch streaming now. I must see the Today Show though. Interesting. She's very well known for many years in the news. Yeah, people who watch the news. I personally, I can't bother. Because they just be lying to us. Like, I can kind of deal with it when TMZ's lying, because it's like, what do you really expect? But like these Today shows and the views and all that, like, I mean, you have to pay to have that channel at your house, I think. Is Hoda replacing her at the Olympics? Girl, I don't know who replaced her. She was supposed to go to Milan or something to do the Olympic coverage, but she had to back out. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame her. I do not blame her. Okay, so I think that we did go over all of the things that I wanted to go over about this particular case today. Let me just do one more little, like, update, like little Google search for updates just to make sure. Let me do like live updates. Yeah. Retired Navy SEAL warns against media talking about that case. I'm just so sick and tired of these freaking public servants trying to tell us what to do. I'm seriously so tired of it. Anyway, it's a video. I don't feel like watching it. Okay, so that's all I really had for this one. If somebody can find the 911 call and bring it to sorry, don't bring it. Girl, do not show up at my house. Send it to me. ThatSurpriseWitness@gmail.com. I may consider going over it. Let me see if Rabbit is still live. If she is, I'll send y'all over there because she's covering this case as well right now. Let me see the JLR one real quick. Look.
Coach, yeah. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Get it back to me if you want. I'll give you my phone number. You can always come stay with me.
He's got a lot of people in there. 41,000 people.
Coach, umbrella. Oh my God, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Someone brought him water. That was sweet.
Thank you.
Can we read this?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see if Rabbit is live.
Deputies are back. Deputies back.
Oh, the deputies are back. Hold on.
We got a lot of activity.
They're back.
They might be leaving. I don't know.
This is live. He's got this going right now.
No. Is that who you're looking for?
Just going to remind again, don't trespass on people's property. Okay, it's already a major inconvenience for everybody in the area, and we don't want to make it. We don't want too many extra law enforcement actions. Mind where we're staying, do the right thing.
So this was centered around a trespassing call complaint.
Something like that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Interesting.
It's early, but I don't care. Thank you. Thank you. I can hear you. Thank you.
Phone talk. My phone talk.
Thank you. Take those waters. Take those. Well, somebody can have waters. Anybody want waters?
Yeah, grab water.
Grab waters. If you guys are hydrated, grab some waters.
So he's trying to say the cops came to the house on a trespassing charge, and he's like, is such and such there? I didn't hear what the cop said. It was like blurry. As you could tell, his video was kind of like, breaking in and out. But he said the cops were like, just make sure we again, royal we. Instead of saying you, y'all, you people, you make sure you stay off the property. No, it's we. It's got to be fucking royal we. Excuse my language. And I don't like we because it's patronizing. I don't like it because it's belittling. It's not nothing about no we. Because I know I just saw your ass walk straight into that house and walk out. You're obviously allowed to go in there. It's not a we. You're telling me I can't go in there, which is fair. But just use the correct language. That's the thing that just aggravates me. I don't like that whole we, that patronizing bullshit. I don't like it. Anyway, so the cop was like, let's make sure we are not trespassing on anyone's property. And he had asked for somebody, is such and such here, but JLR was like, no, I don't know. And then you hear someone kind of like whispering off camera, like, I know it was Carly, but I don't care. And it's like, girl, who is Carly? You just snitched on Carly. 42,000 freaking people were in that chat. I mean, look, listen, if Carly went inside somebody's house, she ought to be arrested. I don't even know who that is, though. Okay, I have y'all going to Down the Rabbit Hole News. And she's covering the case as well live right now. She's actually been on the case longer than I have. She started covering it, I think, in the first day that the news broke. So she's over there covering right now. And I may be in the chat. But that's all I really had for this one. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation. Neither are opinions. I don't know any of these people. Love you, mean it. Okay, bye.